Um, so, hello Tosin.
Yeah, hello.
You're from Tosin Video Production.
That is correct, yes.
So, first thing first, what made you want to get into freelance video production?
Well, I think it's a case of ever since I was a kid, I loved film. I just sort of like I often say it's the first thing I think I ever actually totally understood. So I grew up in Nigeria, where in the 80s, and when you think about, I think in the 80s, anywhere in the world, getting your hands on video editing or video making or filmmaking equipment was pretty difficult, much less in a place like Nigeria that has a whole lot of other problems. So it wasn't until I was 25 where I could actually afford a computer that could handle video editing. I just started working with iMovie, which came bundled with the Mac, and just like putting stuff together and all that. And from there you just keep going on and you keep going on and you keep improving, getting better, doing more complicated stuff. Then one day somebody turns around and is like, "Oh, we want to do a video. Oh, we'll pay you." And you're like, "What? You can get paid for this?" I was just having fun. And my thought was I was gonna stop working for the church and start working for an independent TV company, like as a researcher. Then through all this whole thing, met somebody, proposed. She said yes, thankfully. So in my mind, I was thinking we're gonna be staying in London. We're gonna be doing all this kind of stuff. We're gonna be here. Then she got a letter from the NHS saying, "Oh, congratulations! You got your first placement. You are gonna be on the Isle of Wight." First of all, my first thing was, where the heck is that on the map? My first was trying to figure out, okay, where's the Isle of Wight? It's like, how easy can I get back to London? So we got married, moved to the island because I was like, well, when you got married, I actually want to make this thing work. So I'm going to be living where you're living and your job is more inflexible. So I was commuting back to London like 2 days a week. And after about 6 months, I decided that, yeah, I think this is the time I can hand over my responsibilities of what I was doing with the church. I can hand that to somebody else. And after that 6 months of going back to London, I eventually just went, yeah, I guess I'm starting that business then. And it was probably about 2 years before I was ready to do it. Because I started it off, I didn't have any equipment. My thinking was, well, I could always go borrow the equipment from the university, even though the university was in London and I was on the Isle of Wight. I was like, I'll figure something out.
So, if you could go back to give yourself advice when you were starting out, what would you tell yourself?
It's weird because it's advice that I don't think I would have taken. It's advice I would have given myself that I don't think I would have taken. I think probably the biggest thing would be to find other people, because the way I work and the way I've learned has always been collaborative. I do a lot of drama stuff and amateur dramatic things. And I remember when I did that, when I would learn is when you would be in that area, you'd be collaborative. You have the technical guys behind the scenes, you'll have the director, you have the producer. And in that way, I would just sort of learn almost by osmosis. The advice that I would not have taken, which a lot of people would say, is go get some business books. Go find out all about marketing and about this and about that. And I hate that. I think one of my nightmares is that I'll get to the point of the business where I've ballsed it up so badly that I have to go get a business coach or that I have to go read a book about business and how you do things. But yeah, I think that's the one I wouldn't have taken. But I think, and depending on your mentality and depending on your makeup, I think there's some people, the best thing you can do for them is give them a book and then they'll go suck it all up and then go, right, that's what we're going to do, X, Y, Z. For me, I think best thing was just to get out there and just keep doing stuff and keep trying, keep failing, and then go, all right, cool, I'm not going to do that again. Or tweaking and go, okay, we need to do that better.
Yeah. So what would you say are the pros and cons of working in freelance as opposed to in a company?
Being freelance it's good because you have that flexibility. As I said, my wife's a doctor, and doctors get moved around a lot. Yeah. So first couple of years we were on the Isle of Wight, then we were in Southampton. Now she's moved to the Midlands. So she's moved to the West Midlands. And I spoke about trying to figure out how to be married and trying to make sure you don't become a divorce statistic. And I think, well, when I think about it, I just think, I don't know how it would have worked if I worked in a bank. I don't know how it would have worked if I had a job that was in one particular place and right, okay, you need to be here and you need to show up at 9 to 5 and all that. So discipline is one of the things I know I always have to work on. Like having to be disciplined and saying, right, for 2 hours, I'm going to edit for 2 hours. That is, I can do it and I've learned how to do it, but it's horrible because I'm like, right, 2 hours. Yeah, let's see, there's something. If, like me, you work from home, you're working in the same place your bed is. That's one of the cons. I think probably the biggest con that applies to almost everybody who's freelance is you never know where your next job's coming from. And that can mess some people up. That can mess with some people's minds. Where it's if you're the kind of person who likes security, and you might not even know, maybe you've just figured it out by yourself that, oh yeah, I quite like being secure. It can become unhealthy. As much as you have a job and you have something in your head screaming, saying this is a bad idea, as much as you have that, you're still just sort of like trying to grab. You just I don't care, I just need the money. Yeah. But when you get to the point where you can say no to people and go, sorry, I'm too busy for this right now, that is awesome. That is an absolutely awesome point to reach.
It's great, and I've learned a lot from that. That's great. Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.